Hello, my wonderful beasties. It's Tina, your host. This is the first Minisode of the Courageous Inner Beast, and I'm so thankful for you to be listening in. I don't know what the hell I'm doing, but I want to be here to share my story and hope that my journey resonates with you. So in today's Minisode, we are going to dive into how I started podcasting, the feelings that I went through, and what I did to sit my ass down. So let's get started. I first decided to do podcasting as a career path, and I knew that I wanted to be near my fur babies. I have 3, and I like to speak. Thankfully, I was acquainted with a fabulous life coach, Lucy Liu, yes, like the actress, who offered to assist with launching a podcast. I gave it some thought over 2 to 3 months and then finally reached out to her. We had our first consultation, and with the suggested price for the coaching, I went for it. I was stalling for far too long, 2 years to be exact, and I was done. I was done wallowing in my self-doubt, feeling scared, and feeling I would make a mistake. Even when I continued meeting with her, mixed feelings were coming up, like, fuck, am I doing this right? What if I can't find my niche? And then I'm like, ooh, look at me. This is looking good. And then I go back again. I'm like, will people even like this? Would I even be successful in this? But in the end, I told myself that I'll be okay, that this is a journey. Whatever I do, I'm doing it because I want to. So being around people that were supportive of me, they reassured me that it takes time. The more I do this, the easier it will be. I believe them, and at the same time, nope. My inner child, she's super stubborn, by the way, was not having it and felt it wasn't true. So there was this internal battle bullying within me of is this true or just the other side is true, right? And we know that knowing both things can exist in the same space. You don't have to choose one way or the other. 2 things can coexist and still make the decision that you want. And when I was having that internal battle, I wanted to scream. Well, I actually did. I screamed like hell. And then the next minute, I felt calm. And then a couple of minutes later, I cried it just when you're in these kind of emotions, you just have to go with it and just feel with it and know that everything will be okay. Because honestly, doing something that you're not used to is literally the best thing that you can do, because taking that first step, which is the most courageous thing you can do. And sometimes, the thoughts and feelings that negatively tug your mind and heart, be compassionate with it, empathize and love them with all your heart. Love it that, be the parent to these feelings. And then as a parent, you look in and say, it's okay. I know this is understandable. I know that this is hard. This is something new you never done before and you're scared. It's okay. So take all the time to do that. But of course, if you're like me and my stubborn inner child and they don't want to listen and understand, girl, you need to just tell them to sit down and watch. Literally, I tell her that all the time, and my inner child just gets pouty and just sit while I just choose what I want to do. But she's still there. She's still sitting there and watching. And so I just want to let you know that it is totally okay if this doesn't happen the first time. The first time that you try to convince yourself, saying, I want to do this. I really, really want to do this. I really want to go to Brazil and just go to Carnival by myself. You really want to do it. But then you decide you don't want to. It's okay. It's chill. It's okay to know that it didn't happen the first time. This is the time where you can take the time to forgive yourself, love yourself, and then try again. But don't wait too long though. When you're internally fighting, it's the fire going. It's the fires one side is oh, what you're comfortable with, right? And then the other side is dude, what are you doing? This is what you want to do. Just go for it. This is what you want to do, right? Have the courage and go for it. And so when there's this internal battle between you, it's just exactly where the magic is happening, because something in you is changing. Something in you that wants you to lean in with the fear and the drive that's telling you to do what you want to do this for you. So get back up with your current self who wants to fight, wants to thrive, and do it again. And if the negative voice that comes in your mind again, tell them to sit their ass down and say, let me do me. You can sit and watch. This is what I do on a constant basis with myself, and it is an emotional roller coaster. It is a lot, but I believe it's a powerful one. This is where you decide when that power within you, that fire in you to do something, listen to it. Listen to that voice that wants to just stop everything else, stop the self-doubt, stop the feeling that you'll fail. Let it sit there, but let it sit with you while you're thriving. Like, they could sit with you, but you just don't say anything, you know? Although this seems easy off the bat, we are actually a few steps ahead. What we really need to do first is to get here is being self-aware of what goes within our body, physically, mentally, and emotionally. So stay tuned in the next Minisode of how I started with being in tune with my inner self and how I navigate through it. Also, be sure to check out our wonderful guest who will share their story and what they did to be where they're at. Thank you for listening and sitting with me. I really appreciate it. If you enjoy this podcast, make sure to hit the follow button wherever you're listening and look out for new episodes every Tuesday on The Courageous Inner Beast.